Talking shit.
Welcome back to Talking Shit from Sports Interaction. We're in the mid of summer, so a lot of people may think, what do we have to bet on today? We have some things to bet on for you, whether it's baseball, it's Olympics. We're going to get into it all today. I'm your host, Prince Hudda, joined by, as always, Johnny Giunta from Guelph. Johnny, how you doing today?
I'm doing all right. I mean, listen, we're in the dog days, man.
Yes.
This is the literal definition of the dog days. I mean, it doesn't get much worse than what we are currently dealing with right now, currently watching. We're just kind of have to battle it out. We're going to have to battle it out for the foreseeable future and then move on to some football here. But I actually saw a stat. This is the last Thursday we don't have football on TV. Is that
That's
true?
Right. Yes, because the Hall of Fame game kicks off the preseason, and then preseason games every Thursday, and then TNF from September to January there. So we're close.
Makes it a little bit more makes it a little more manageable. Just having that peace of mind where it's like, all right, we actually got some sports on the gridiron next week. So I feel a little bit better. I felt a little bit better hearing that. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I've tried to tap into the CFL a little bit just to kind of get that football fix going. A lot of overs have been cashing the CFL recently, but yeah, no, it's been tough. The NFL preseason's weird just because it's like you only really need to watch the first and second quarter, the starters play, and then they bench everyone, and so it's fun to see like the rookies, the young guys. If you're a big fantasy football guy, see those guys pan out. But yeah, it's like a one quarter, 1.5 quarters, and then I kind of turn it off. But
yeah,
it's always nice to have.
Listen, preseason football, it's not the greatest thing you've ever watched. Let's make that clear. It's like it sucks, to be honest with you. They're kind of going like half-assed, but it is cool to see like Caleb Williams wearing like an actual NFL uniform, like actually taking snaps. So that's kind of the only cool part. Other than that, though, it's like I really don't care, to be honest.
Yeah, and the first preseason game, you mentioned Caleb Williams, is the Texans and Bears, so hopefully we do see him next Thursday. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
We'll have to see what the lines are like there, but yeah, we're close to football, but we do have a little bit here. We got baseball going right now, and then, of course, the Olympics, which have kicked off at the time of recording as well.
Yeah, tough one. Canada soccer today, easiest live bet of all time. They're facing New Zealand, and they went down early. And then they battled back. So that's the only enjoyment I'm going to get out, because let me tell you this, it is electric having day sports on. That's the only cool thing. Some of them I don't watch, but it is cool having women's soccer team playing at like 11 a.m. During the week. That's the only thing. That's the only fun I've actually had today, to be honest with you, watching this Blue Jays team.
Well, it's funny. You mentioned the women's soccer team. There was the big scandal this week. Spygate 2.0. It flew the drone over the New Zealand practice, so today they should have been a lock, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Are you surprised to see Canada cheating in the Olympics like this?
This is such a weird story. Like, I honestly don't even know enough to be able to speak on it, but like I did hear it was pretty much like the players had no idea about it, or they're investigating it. But I truly, there's going to be an E60 documentary probably about this in like a year, and we're gonna look back and be like, oh, okay, like that was kind of screwed up that they did that. But I honestly have no idea what's going on. We still don't even really know the Bill Belichick one, to be honest.
Yeah,
we'll never know. We'll never truly know.
And it's weird because Canada is coming off of winning the gold medal in soccer at the last Olympics, so you would think that what do we need to cheat for? We're the best team.
Yeah,
but to see them have that happen is just tough. And I know they sent 2 coaches home. The team had to go through ethics training. The head coach had to sit out this game. So just a weird start to the tournament, but they did win. So, I think a lot of people will look at that game and go, well, they cheated. And a lot of eyes are going to be on Canada. And it's funny. You always see the international cheating scandals at the Olympics, but it's weird to see our country in the heart of one so far.
Yeah, I have no idea. It clearly affected them at the start of the game. They looked like shit, and then they figured it out, and they just got two goals to win. But other than that, though, yeah, it's always weird seeing a cheating scandal involving Canada. Like, you always see it with like the Russians, sometimes like the Chinese and all that type of stuff, but never really with Canada. I've never, like, maybe the what's that, Sean? What's that Olympic sprinter, Ben Johnson, who was cheating?
Yes.
Doping.
Yeah, doping's pretty common in the Olympic Forum, but I feel like spying on another team in public with a drone, I think, is something that is such a high risk of getting caught. But I mean, you're not winning, if you're not cheating, you're not trying, right? So
Yeah, exactly, man. I mean, it's just fun. I mean, I don't know. It's never not funny to me. Just hearing like the random shit of like, how did you like? Did they look at a drone? Go like, there's drones flying everywhere usually. Like, do they just look at a drone and we're like trying to figure out where it was? Like, did it fall? I didn't look into the story enough, but that is a crazy story. A random team to cheat off of, by the way, too. New Zealand, just like an insanely random thing.
yeah, I believe they're just flying the drone over their practice, so essentially recording their plays. And I think someone had noticed it, but to trace it back to Canada is pretty funny because this is coming out before the Olympics even start, and now you got a stain on Canada. So if they do win, people are going to hold it against them, and now it's just like, that's not something that's going to go away. People are going to be talking about this for a while, and to have this happen before the Olympics even started, it's a tough look for Canada for sure.
Yeah, it's also just hilarious. I mean, so like cheating in soccer is crazy. Like in football, I get it. Obviously, you want to see the plays they're running, what they're practicing. Soccer, you kind of just know the formation. You just watch the tape and you know what they're doing. It's like kind of insane to be using that to cheat. It's wild. Do you know what the odds are for Canada to win the gold? Because I know they're one of the favorites.
I believe they are one of the favorites. I think they aren't the perennial favorite to win the whole thing. I'm just pulling it up right now. Yeah, I think the U.S. is at front. I'm just trying to find it. Yeah, so we have all the odds for the major tournaments. The team sports, obviously, we got soccer, we got basketball 3-on-3, volleyball, tennis. So quite a bit going on. We'll get those odds up in a bit, but just out of curiosity, what events in the Olympics are you looking forward to most here?
I'm always locked in on the sprinting. I think the sprinting is one of the most insane events to watch because of how fast these dudes are. Like, I can't even really fathom it. Like, we watch Tyreek Hill and we watch like Justin Jefferson and guys that are fast in the sports that we watch, like Ellie De La Cruz. These guys don't hold the jock strap of these Olympic sprinters. Like, it is insane how fast these dudes are. So I always look forward to watching that. And I always look forward to watching, obviously, the basketball's gonna be cool. You got the USA super team. Canada looks unreal. And the soccer's like kind of just, it's the younger guys, so you're not really getting much out of it. But I always get enjoyment out of watching the running. The running is always, and it started when I was a kid when Usain Bolt was on a goddamn legacy tear. Yeah. That's what kind of made me start to like running and sprinting. Sorry.
Yeah, I think that like elevated the sport for us. Like every 4 years, sitting around the couch watching Usain Bolt, and then Andre DeGrasse for Canada over the last few years doing his thing. So yeah, I agree. Track's up there. For me, I'd throw the swimming in there. Like the swimming, it's similar to the track, but you're just in the pool. Like to your point about Usain Bolt, Michael Phelps was someone just being able to watch. I think ESPN put out a list of the 50 greatest American athletes of this century. Michael Phelps was number one of the most decorated Olympians ever. He was electric to watch too. And just seeing them in the pool, and Canada to an extent for the last little bit, we've had a couple swimmers. So yeah, I'm excited to see the stuff in the pool as well here.
It's also funny because you have like in your boys group chats, like guys that swear they know what the fuck they're talking about. Like my buddy gave me like a 400-meter freestyle play that's like plus 360. He's like, she's a lock. Like you have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. So like that's also the funniest thing. It's just betting on random shit with your boys. I always get enjoyment out of that.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. So I have a buddy who actually used to swim, not professionally, but he was like right at the level below Olympic trials. So I remember him telling me that Penny Alexiak was going to be a stud. And then there's he told me that this new girl, Summer McIntosh, who's 17 years old.
That's the girl.
Yeah.
That's the girl my buddy told me to bet on.
So no, you should. From what I've heard, she's like the second coming of Michael Phelps in the female Canadian equivalent, like better than Penny Alexiak, better than everything. By this time next week, we could be talking about her as a superstar. So it's funny you say that. That's the name I was told to look out for as well.
That is literally the exact name that my friend told me to bet was Summer McIntosh.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's wild.
I think the 400 meter, she's in the 400 meter individual medley. She's in the 400 meter butterfly, and she's also in the women's 200 meter butterfly. So you'll be hearing that name a lot over the next few weeks. And I believe the first event is the 27th 400 meter freestyle. So
that's the one he told me to bet her in.
Yeah. I mean, we're giving away. I mean, we give away picks on this show. Maybe we're giving away futures here. Maybe she's the one to get that first gold for Canada at the Olympics here.
Just an outlandish thing to bet on, though. Like, just like insane. But I mean, I'll have I have to tail it. Like, I have no other option but to tail it because it's such a random fucking play. But yeah, shout out Summer McIntosh, man. I mean, I've seen her name a pretty decent amount on the timeline, so I have no idea who she is. But yeah, apparently she's the next one up. So that should be good. I'm looking forward to seeing. It'll be hilarious in the group chat if she actually cashes. That'll be just the funniest thing ever.
Well, it's funny because like my group chat, like my buddy swims, so I asked him who is this, and he said, "Yeah, better to win every gold." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." You know, he swam with people that were with her. He's like, "Yeah, she's light years ahead of everyone." I'm like, "All right, good to know." So
really,
the other person he told me to watch out for, Joshua Liendo, who's in the men's 100-meter freestyle and the men's 50-meter freestyle. He actually said they swam together because they were the same age. And like he was leaps and bounds ahead of some guys as well. So he was another name to watch out for. So swimming locks here. We're giving away swimming locks.
Absurd.
Where else?
I mean, I don't even know where you could watch. I guess you can watch it on CBC, but like that's insane. That's insane. I'm looking forward to it. It's just hilarious. Hilarious time for the group chats because literally it's just baseball and Olympics on right now. That's it.
Yeah. Well, I think of it like if you like betting on the UFC because of how quick the bets happen and the fights take place, this would be the same for you, where it's like a minute and a half. You're watching someone sprint or swim, and whether they win or lose, like you just got to lock into that. So yeah. I find it funny that like the people that are like, if you don't have the patience to sit there and watch a long, like 3.5 hour game, now you can just lock in for 50 seconds, maybe a minute, and see if you win or lose.
Yeah. And I mean, the basketball is going to be hilarious. Like just seeing some of the spreads for like Team USA and Canada is just going to be like absolutely ridiculous. Like Canada, like minus 35 one game. It's going to rock. It's so sick.
Yeah. Let's talk a bit about basketball. So I think that's probably where the most eyes and wallets will be for this tournament. Yeah. Obviously Canada bringing a Olympic team here. We haven't seen that in quite some time. Probably one of the best Canadian teams we've ever had. Jamal Murray's out there. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's out there. Kelly Olynyk. Guys that you see, RJ Barrett, another one. Guys you see in the NBA all the time are now being placed on the Olympic stage. And I think a lot of people have faith in Canada, which is pretty cool. Fun fact, the last time Canada won a medal at the Olympics in basketball, men's basketball, was 1936.
Listen, it would be objectively funny if we beat America in basketball because the spin zones we could have would rock. Like it'd just be like, yeah, we clear. But it's not going to happen. Like their team is a legit super team. They have LeBron, Curry, Durant. They're insane. So it will be funny. I am looking forward to just how many people are going to be locked in to that final if it is Canada USA because it's going to be sick. It's literally just it's just like two all-star teams going at it in the summer, which is going to rock.
Yeah, that would be like, I think a lot of Canadians were, hyped on the fact that we made it further in the Copas than the US. So to have another sport on them, because it always seemed to just be hockey. Yeah. Now we can say soccer and now potentially basketball. I mean, look, USA is a really, really good team, but they almost lost to South Sudan, right? It's one game elimination. If you put Canada out there, a more motivated team, you never know.
Yeah. We'll see. The soccer kind of sucks. Like I wish the big dogs were going to be there. Like the actual, like the good players, but obviously this like La Liga starts in 2 weeks, and then you have Premier League in less than a month, so you can't really do that, obviously. But yeah, it would be cool to kind of at least see like the big dogs go against the big dogs of the world.
Yeah. Well, right now in basketball, Canada to reach the finals plus 200 at Sports Interaction.
Wow.
But they got a tough group draw. I mean, they got Greece up first. Then we have Spain and France. Like it's not an easy group, or excuse me, not Spain and France. Canada, Greece, Spain, and there's one more team in that loop here. I'm just pulling it up, but Canada got a group of death, is what a lot of people are saying. And so unfortunately, okay, so it's Greece, Canada, Spain, Australia. So 3 international teams who have a bit more experience in this tournament than Canada does. Canada minus 185 to win the group, but it could be a tough path to get to the finals. USA heavy favorite minus 650, but Canada at plus 1,000 is the runner-up to win the tournament.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I didn't know this, by the way. Yesterday, I had a generational bad beat in the Olympics. Argentina scores in 16th minute, to draw the game. I had draw plus 600 or whatever. 2 hours later, they send the teams back to the field because they VAR checked it and called it offside. So they had to play 3 extra minutes 2 hours after the game, and Argentina lost. I've never experienced that in my life.
That's like I saw that, and it's just, first of all, 16 minutes of extra time is how did it get to that stage already? Like, was there a reason it was that long of extra
there was
time?
like some pauses and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Like, yeah. But like, I was like imagine that you go to work or you're doing something, you just leave your phone away for 2 hours. Like, holy shit, I just hit a plus 600 bet, and then you go back and it's like it's gone.
So
it's
are you paid out and then they took the money out?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's a very weird one. Like I can't imagine that's happened before. And I imagine it's a nightmare for sports books having to take the money back from people, especially after paying it out. But yeah, I've never seen that before. It's always the weird shit with the Olympics. You know, there's always those weird sports stipulations, and we see the cheating and the doping, all this stuff. It's never like in like a Premier League game or a World Cup or Euro. It's always the Olympics.
I just couldn't imagine like your team's hype in the locker room. You get all ready to go. You're ready to leave, and then they call your ass back. And you're just losing by a million. You end up actually losing the game. It's insane.
That's so weird. Yeah, I mean, bad beats in general, like usually you can see it come. Oh, what? There's nothing I could do about that. But the fact that the 2 hours later, like boys might already be drinking, they're celebrating, they've left. You know, they're mentally not playing anymore. So that's a tough one to swallow for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. We had a pretty good beat for one customer at Sports Interaction later. We'll get to, but there is one event at the Olympics I did want to discuss here. For the first time ever, breakdancing is part of the Olympics.
Christ.
Now it's called breaking, and Canada does have a medal contender, Philip Kim, in the men's breakdancing bracket, plus 230 to win.
Oh my God.
I'm probably just going to take that one purely out of amusement. I mean, I don't even know how this is going to be scored. I don't know what the rules are. I don't know how this is going to play out, but I like it. That's breakdancing as a sport.
Is he the favorite?
He's runner up. The U.S. guy, Victor Montalvo, is the favorite at plus 120.
I mean, listen, like, it's a cool way to get an Olympic medal. Like, they don't ask how, they just ask how many. And if you have an Olympic gold, I don't give a shit what it is. That is so sick. Like, it doesn't matter. You have an Olympic gold medal. So that's crazy. They added that. They still don't have baseball in the Olympics, but yeah, that'll play. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of weird events at the Olympics sometimes, and I think breakdancing's one that, you know, I can see people locking into, and potentially something that maybe people want to see on television after the Olympics. What's up, John?
So, yeah, athletes, or breakers as they are called, will go against each other in a 1-versus-1 battle and take alternate turns or throwdowns to perform their routines. They will be judged on 6 criteria: creativity, personality, technique, variety, performativity, and musicality. Wow.
I'm just wondering, like, are they?
That's a lot of subjective stuff, man. I don't know.
Are they like dancing to like Future? I
think they can dance to whatever they want. I think
they probably pick their routines like figure skating, right?
Yeah.
That's insane. That's wild. I guess it really is at the end of the day just figure skating on ice or off ice, right? Like,
yeah, I think the 1v1 thing's pretty cool, but yeah, it's very similar to figure skating. They pick their routine and they get judged on that. But yeah, I'm excited for that. Yeah, I mean, and we got a medal hopeful. So August 10th, if you guys are around and you want to watch, lock into men's breakdance. It's not called breakdancing, men's breaking, and Philip Kim for Canada. Breaking. We're rooting for you.
Men's breaking, locked in. We need a Canadian medal. The Canadian medal, by the way, I saw on Sports Interaction, the Canadian medal total is 5.5, I believe. Gold medals. Gold medals, 5.5. The U.S. are like minus 2,000 to lead in medals, which is absurd, but I mean, they have the most people. I believe I have the under on Canada medals. I could be wrong.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
why
I think
is that?
I have the under. Because listen, we're not a summer country. We're a winter country. In the Winter Olympics, we'll dominate there. We'll let the Americans have the summer. That's where I'm at with that, at least.
Okay, that's fair. I think 5.5. Like, I'm buying into the summer McIntosh cool. I'm drinking. I think she gets 2. She's in 4 events. I think she can get 2. There's one event I believe she's minus 1,400 to win the gold medal.
Really?
Yes. So I think her. There's a couple others I was looking at. Damian Warner, men's decathlon. He was the gold medalist in Tokyo 4 years ago, defending his title. We also have this guy, men's. You'll hear this name a lot. Ethan Katzberg, men's hammer throw. So this is a new event to the Olympics. Currently the world record holder for the longest hammer throw by a man, and he's participating August 4th. I can see another gold potentially for Canada there.
How is that a goal? How is that an Olympic event though? Like seriously,
it's track. It's track. Like shot put. You throw the ball. It's no different than that.
That blows my mind. But I respect. Like I said, if you can get a gold medal, they don't ask how. They ask how many. Good for you. But I can't imagine these dudes got to be just working regular ass jobs, right? Like you can't make a living off of doing that.
Well, there are international tournaments, but I'd imagine, once the tournament ends, you got to go back to work kind of thing. But yeah.
I'm going to say like a guy from an accounting office is in the Olympics for fucking, what do you say? Hammer throwing?
Hammer throw. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it's like, come on, bro. That's not like you can't have like a full-time job doing that. That's not your full-time job. Sorry. Right.
Yeah. Well, if you'll see if you look at a picture, Ethan Katzberg, I mean, this guy looks like his job is hammer throw. He currently has the national record for a Canadian hammer throw, 84.38 meters, which is pretty impressive. He won the world championship in 2023 in Budapest. So he's a name to think about going into the Olympics here. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have the world record. He has the Canadian record. My apologies. 2 inches shy of the world record that was set back in 1986. Now the hammer weighs 16 pounds.
Like, is there like a longevity career in that? Like, was that guy doing that in like the 30? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy.
I don't know, but the hammer is 16 pounds. So think of like a dumbbell at the gym. You got to launch that as far as possible, 15 pounds. Like, this is what the Olympics are. Every 4 years, guys who dive into these crafts that many people may look at you and go, okay, you're a bit weird. Maybe I'm not going to talk to this guy, are now Canadian heroes. So who's going to be the Canadian hero this year in an obscure sport? I like this guy to be one of them.
I love it. I can't wait to bet on that with the boys, man. That's what the purpose of it is. That's why they do this shit,
I'll send you I have a tracker of all the Canadian medal hopefuls. I'll send you the tracker here. There's another one, women's rowing. So last year, Tokyo, we won the gold medal. 4 of the team members from that team are back. Team Canada,
You're
August 3rd, women's 8s rowing is another one.
You're locked in.
I'm locked in. I just, there's not a lot to do right now. There's not a lot to do. I'm not a big baseball guy, admittedly, not a big CFL guy. So I will lock into the Olympics here if need be.
Okay. I can respect that. That's fair.
Yeah. So we got quite a few. If you're also interested, we have men's golf, Corey Connors, Nick Taylor, 2 notable golfers in that. Women's golf, Brooke Henderson. Women's soccer, as Johnny mentioned. Beach volleyball, we have a team. Tennis doubles, women's basketball, women's 3-on-3 basketball. So a lot to be excited for if you're a Canadian. 5.5 over/under gold medals. I'm going to take the over there because it just feels unpatriotic to take the under on that.
It is a little juice though, right?
Yeah, I mean,
over.
Yeah, you want to bet the over because you're just a Canadian, right? You have to. The props literally called glorious and free.
That's fair.
It just feels like you have to.
That's a good advertisement technique. Glorious and free. I can get behind that.
Yeah, and then of course the U.S. gold medal count over 40.5. So
okay,
not even close. Not even close.
It's insane. That's insane. But yeah,
I mean they just send their best. I mean they got basketball guarantee, maybe not, but pretty much a guarantee. What one last thing, if we go back to basketball here, how far do you think Canada can go in this tournament?
Dude, they're a wagon, man. I'm so happy. Like all the good guys are there. Like obviously, I don't think the guy that got drafted from Purdue, what's his name?
Edie, yeah, he's not there.
He's not there, but like they have all their top dogs there, right? Like all the big guys are playing. So I'm looking forward to seeing them just like beat the shit out of like some countries and then go toe to toe with the U.S. hopefully in the final. But I think I think they'll medal. Like that's the odds for that are probably shit, but I think they'll medal for sure. I don't know about beating America, but I'm kind of hoping for it because it would rock on the social on Twitter timeline if they did.
Yeah, I think people like even when they had the USA Canada showcase, people were buzzing about that. So just any sort of matchup between these two. To your point, they have so many talented guys: RJ Barrett, Jamal Murray, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Right now, will Canada win a medal? Yes, -135. No, -105. So
Okay.
it seems like we're trending in the right direction
That might be
to
a
win
nuke.
a medal.
That might be a nuke.
It's a good future, yeah.
That's but the thing is, again, I hate betting futures where it's minus 125. Like I could just bet that tonight on like a guy to get a hit or something, and it'll
You
be
could.
the same. Yeah, you know.
You
So,
could. Well, the big one would be Canada to win the tournament, plus 1,000, USA minus 650. No one's going to touch that.
Yeah.
Betting without the favorite. So you remove US, who's finishing the furthest, Canada plus 200 to be the betting favorite without the US involved.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it should be an interesting few weeks here. Round robin tournament, one game. US almost lost to South Sudan. So it could happen. Canada could be the international champion of basketball when it's all said and done.
Yeah. I mean, America has everything to lose. Canada has nothing to lose. That's like the kind of thing.
Perfect.
Yeah.
There's the sell right there. Yeah. I'm excited. So we talked Olympics. We talked about some events you'd be watching, some events you won't be watching. Another one I did mention was skateboarding. I always like watching that just because like back in the day, those Tony Hawk video games are always cool. So seeing that live is sick. So skateboarding will be another one I'll be watching as well.
Yeah. Skateboarding is kind of cool too.
Yeah.
I forgot about that one. That's a cool one.
Yeah, for sure. Well, let's switch gears a little bit. Let's talk MLB. The trade deadline is coming up. And speaking of coming up, Joey Votto is a name that has been circling the social media sphere this week, sent to AAA. Is there a chance we see Joey Votto crack the Blue Jays roster this season?
Not in the near future. I mean, he got called up to AAA and then he got hurt in warm-up in that game. So he didn't even actually play. Like, he hasn't played a AAA baseball game yet. And we're a week removed from him getting called up. Joey Votto is just some sort of urban legend now. I haven't seen this guy play a game above A like all year, obviously. He played one at-bat in spring training, finally gets a call to AAA. Like, holy shit, he's one step closer. At least we have something to look forward to. And the guy gets hurt in warm-up. He re-aggravates the ankle that he got hurt when he rolled over the bat. So I don't know when we're going to see him, but he will play for the Toronto Blue Jays this year at some point. I just don't know when because he's still nursing that ankle injury.
I agree. Like, I was looking at the calendar, and this, funny enough, the Cincinnati Reds are in town August 19th, 20th, 21st. That would just be such a storybook thing.
That's happening, right?
Like, that's what they're targeting in the calendar. You know how many Joey Votto City Connect jerseys they're going to sell, bobbleheads, T-shirts. I think we talked about this back when he started with the team back in spring training. There's no way they signed him to not have this point in their mind to say, okay, we need this guy on the team. Joey Votto night, Joey Votto giveaway, Joey Votto this, Joey Votto that. And they're playing Cincinnati in August. It's too perfect to not happen.
That's actually such a good point. I honestly didn't even think about that. That makes that actually makes way too much sense. Like that actually makes way too much sense to not be true.
It's
like
perfect. It's like when you think the NFL, there's like these perfect games. Like we saw somehow magically Miami ends up playing Kansas City in the playoffs. Tyreek Hill's first game in Kansas City's in the playoffs against them. Like, there are these things in sports that just always seem to happen where it feels like it's scripted, but it's not. But if Joey Votto's not on the team by this weekend, that's a major marketing miss by the Blue Jays. I'll say that.
Yeah, no, that's insane. I mean, by that time, the Jays will probably be mathematically eliminated. So it'll be sold out. So that's a good way to sell tickets, actually. I like that. That's a good marketing strategy there when the team's really bad. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, the minute he walks up, he doesn't even need to. He'll probably play what, DH, or you think he'd be in the outfield?
No, he'll play DH.
Yeah, so he comes up to bat. People are going to go crazy. He strikes out, whatever. As long as he goes up to bat, people are going to lose their minds.
Yeah,
and I think that's a big one. So, does he deserve a spot on this team, or you think it's just a marketing push?
I mean, can't get much worse than whatever the fuck this is. I mean, right now they're losing 12-0. So fair. I mean, like, listen, I'm not gonna get picky with players on my team when the guys on my team right now, like Justin Turner, are like genuinely just horrific baseball players. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure, but I mean, fuck it. He's an MVP guy, Canadian. It's a good story to have him end out his career here in Toronto. I think he's going to play a month and a half. Maybe it's going to be, I guess, if he joins August 19th, it'll be like a month and 2 weeks. But yeah, it's a good farewell tour for Joey Votto.
Absolutely. Well, we're almost at the trade deadline in the Major League. I believe it is Monday, July 30th. Yeah. We talked a little bit about it in the midseason review. Who is struggling? Who could be making a push here to the World Series at the end of the season? Who do you see? Obviously, we talked about the Jays being a seller. Who do you think is a buyer at the trade deadline at this stage?
The Astros are for sure. Um, I gotta think the Rangers probably are now. They'll probably do a little bit of buying and selling, like selling off their older pieces. But I think the Astros for sure, Dodgers 100%, Braves I'm not sure because everyone's injured, so it's not really like that's the big problem for them. I think the Mets could be as well. The thing about the National League is like there's so many teams that are just barely 500 that are in playoff spots, or a game out of a playoff spot. So you got to think like if you're looking at teams that are going to be buyers, Padres probably, Padres, Mets, Cardinals probably, Pirates. That's probably about it. But yeah, the Mets are like one of the feel good stories because they were supposed to be really bad this year, and then they went on an insane run. So I'm actually kind of rooting for the Mets, to be honest with you. I'm not becoming a full-blown Mets fan, but it's cool seeing a team that had legit no expectations coming into this season being in a playoff spot. So, yeah, they're in a playoff spot right now. They'll be buyers probably, and so will the Padres.
The Grimace effect, right?
Yeah. Ever since Grimace first pitch, I mean, they're like hitting like 700 win percent. It's insane. It's truly bananas.
Yeah, your point about the National League, every single team in the first place of their division is up by at least 6 games. So everyone's really just fighting for a wild card there. So you see the American League, a lot of people holding tight. I know a team everyone talks about, we've talked about before, the Yankees. You think they make a move?
They have to be honest with you. Like, unless they want to waste Juan Soto. Like, Juan Soto is generational. The Yankees are the worst team in the American League East in the last 35 days, I believe it is. Like, they have just fallen off of a literal cliff. But yeah, they're gonna have to be buyers, to be honest. Like, they have to, but the thing is, they have too many holes. They only have 2 good guys in their lineup. So I don't know what they're gonna do. I really don't. I don't know. It's not much trade pieces out there besides like the heavy guys, like the Crochets and the Scoobles and all those guys. But I am looking forward to seeing like where some of these random teams that you had no idea were buying just start buying. So I'm looking forward to watching that.
That's interesting. Out of curiosity, because I know you know a lot of guys on the Jays, when they get traded or moved to other teams, do you still kind of keep up with them and follow their careers, or it's like you're off the team, dead to me?
No, I usually do. Like Danny Jansen's a good friend of mine. He's probably going to get traded. I'll hit him up right when he gets traded and just let him know, like, hope he does well and stuff. I mean, I'm not watching him every day, but I'll keep like a close eye on like what these guys are doing for sure. And it's also funny because it seems as if when players leave here, they just turn into like the greatest players ever. Like that's like that's another factor of it. But I am looking forward to watching, seeing guys actually play on really good playoff teams and teams that are buying. So, and Danny Jansen will be one of those.
Nice. Well, that's cool. I mean, we'll know by this time next week who's won the trade deadline, who's lost.
Yeah,
that should be interesting to see. And yeah, I mean, baseball's rolling. Training camp and the preseason NFL's approaching. Then we got Olympics. So we made it through the dark days of July, and I think we're really starting to approach that sports season here.
Yeah, we're close. We're really, really close, folks. I'm looking forward to it, man. I can't wait to have football on the TV. College football Saturday, NFL Sunday, then you got Premier League in the mornings. It's going to rock. Yeah. It is going to absolutely rock. I can't wait.
Are you a gamer at all? You play the new college football?
Oh, we've been playing it at work a little bit. Like I don't have a PS5. Maybe in like the Jays, when the Jays are in the off season, I'll get back to it. But usually we play video games in the off season because we have way more time. But I've only played a couple games of NCAA at work.
Sweet. That's pretty cool. Well, we'll wrap here with one of my favorites, and I know your favorite segment on the show, the Parlay Winner of the Week. So despite the fact that there's not much going on, there are people still winning and hitting insane parlays over here at Sports Interaction. Right coming out of All-Star break, I believe this was the first day that games resumed after MLB All-Star break. One bettor at Sports Interaction turned $1,000 into $123,000 on a 6-leg parlay.
Wait, whoa, say that again.
1,000 Canadian into 123,000 on a 6-leg parlay.
What?
Yep. All plus money plays too. Pirates, who are an underdog in their game against the Phillies money line, they win. Nationals against the Reds, he took the Nationals, they win. Baltimore Orioles run line against Texas, check. Kansas City Royals run line against the White Sox, check. Arizona Diamondbacks run line against the Cubs, check. and Colorado Rockies on the money line against the Giants. Check 1,123,000 in just 3 hours.
Damn, dude. God damn.
That easy. It's that easy.
Like, listen, I know there's a lot of legs there, but who is throwing in $1,000 parlays like that? That is absurd. That is ridiculous. Good for that guy, man. Wow. Fuck.
That was a big hit. I think that's probably the biggest winner we've seen. Not the
easily.
best odds, but the biggest winner we've seen in this segment so far. So
easily.
I mean, you translate it down, $100 turns into 12,300, right? So
yeah.
And any metric, that would have been a crazy hit. But of course, he put a little extra chunk of change on it.
Crazy. That guy must just he doesn't give a fuck about money then. I mean, that's obviously a sick hit, but oh my God, dude. That's
I think
wild.
that's the most impressive one I've seen here. And the fact that this guy's probably locked in MLB lines, he's probably got all his books. He's looking at pitching matchups, wind, everything. And he pulled it out. So shout out to you. $1,000 into 123,000. I wish I could say the same, but I can't. But it could be you next. So keep locking in your parlays at Sports Interaction.
That is ridiculous, dude. Holy shit. Good for them. Tip the cap.
We put it out every time. Yeah, let's tip the cap. Every time we put these out, we put out the challenge. Can you do better than last week? And it always seems to be better than last week. I can't wait till we get to NFL season, the kind of parlays people are going to be spinning together. We've seen some crazy ones, some same gamers, but yeah, I don't have no words. I mean, this is one of those hits that I saw and I didn't believe, and I went back and looked, and it was in fact true.
That's so sick. Congrats to that guy. I want to shake that man's hand. The craziest thing is why didn't he tweet that or put I guess you don't want people knowing you have $130,000, I guess. That probably makes more sense.
Yeah, I mean, I think you see the slips sometimes with the BR bettings of the world and all that put out. I guess some people like keeping it to themselves. Maybe he doesn't want his family members to know he just came into 123 grand. So
yeah, that's fair. That's still crazy though. Shout out to that guy, man. Fuck.
Yeah, I mean, it's inspiring. It's always inspiring seeing these. One day it will be us. But yeah, shout out to you, and you could be next. So we challenge you every week. Can you beat this parlay? Let's find out.
There you go. Yeah, that's insane. Fuck.
Right on. All right. Well, we're going to wrap here. John, you got anything fun planned coming up over the next few weeks?
Unfortunately, I'm going to Chicago for the Jays Cubs series in 3 weeks, I believe. I mean, that's something to look forward to, I guess, if you don't really care about the product on the field. But other than that, though, not really. I mean, I'll be locked into the Olympics. I'll be locked into other baseball, not the Toronto Blue Jays. But yeah, that's about it, man. We're in the summer. Enjoy the summer. Don't let the Toronto Blue Jays affect you. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say Toronto, Chicago White Sox. That would have been a trip.
Oh, my God. You couldn't pay me to watch that game. That'd be insane.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's watching that game. But
yeah, no, not me.
Sweet. Well, for everything, whether you're betting on the MLB, you're locking in NFL futures, now CFL or Olympics, Sports Interaction is your home for all things betting, your homegrown sports book. Download Sports Interaction today. Bet local.
Yep. Let's go.
Talking shit.